To be totally honest, it's really helped me out because I've realised now there's only 2 weeks left until Father's Day. If you're like me, maybe this year I can't just give my dad a hug.
No, that is so tight.
Yeah, that's what I get.
Poor Martin.
He's very happy with it. But look, the book, it is about a man who pretends to be a teen online. There's a gruesome murder and one father is out for revenge. I mean, where did you get this idea from?
Oh, good question. I was reading, actually, and listening to a court case about 5 or 6 years ago of an internet troll. Middle-aged guy, lived with his parents, lived out of his box room, and his thing, as the character in my book does, was to impersonate teenage girls, infiltrate teen chat rooms for his own nefarious purposes. And the thing that he really liked to do was to get them to, I've got to choose my words carefully this time of night, but to treat themselves unkindly, let's put it that way, and if possible, lead them to the darkest of places. And that's what inspired me to write the book. I thought, internet trolls are the curse of the modern age, aren't they? I mean, they didn't exist until about 10 or 15 years ago, but they've completely infiltrated social media, and I think they're wicked. There are levels of wickedness, but some of them are seriously bad people. And I was thinking of writing a revenge novel, a revenge thriller. I thought, okay, I'll write this for everybody who's up to there with internet trolls, and I'll seek a revenge on one. And yeah, as you say, I can't say exactly what it is. But basically, the book opens in a Roman amphitheatre, which exists actually just outside Cirencester in the Cotswolds. It's incredible. I'm surprised it's not as famous as Stonehenge or the Roman barns. It's a proper, like the Colosseum, amphitheatre, covered in grass. It opens there on a midsummer's morning, a bit like this time of year. Two police officers have been called there because people have heard, living nearby, have heard strange yelps and screams coming from it. And they go in and they find, again, I'll choose my words carefully here because we're pre-watershed, they find the body of a man who has been murdered in the style of the Roman imperial age, to say that. And if you think of how the Romans put people to death, you can probably imagine how he's been killed. I won't say any more than that here, but it's very graphic in the book. And you immediately, and it's horrible, and you immediately think, one, who is this person and why has he been killed in this very specific way? And two, who did it and why? And it's not a plot spoiler, and this will only take 30 seconds and so on.
No.
It isn't a plot spoiler to say.
All of our questions are the author doing this. They're disappearing.
It's not a plot spoiler to say that in the next couple of chapters we learn, one, that this guy was an internet troll and what he was doing, and that he succeeded in taking this young girl to the edge and over, and the person who's killed him is the girl's father. And the girl's father found out who this guy was because 2 years after he lost his daughter, he discovered her secret laptop that no one knew existed. No one knew why she'd died. No one knew why it had happened. But he finds her secret laptop, and he hacks into it, and he sees these awful messages with her being cajoled into doing something terrible to herself. And he swears revenge. He finds the guy, he brings him to the amphitheatre, he drugs him and brings him there, and he takes his life. And then the two questions which the whole book then wrestles with as the police begin to close in on the father, who's a very decent man actually, he's a very good, intelligent, lovable and loving man, and bereft as a father. The question is, do we kind of understand why he did it? And do we want him punished? Do we want him caught by the police? And if they do catch him, should he be taken to court? I mean, do we want him to get away with it, basically? Because I'm against capital punishment completely. I'm sure most people in the studio are. But we all who feel like that must have seen news reports sometimes and read them where a crime has been so wicked and the pain it's inflicted on the victim and on the families of the victim is so awful that you can't help but think, you don't really mean it, but your visceral response is, shooting's too good for that guy. And of course, you wouldn't actually endorse that in real life, but the beauty about writing fiction is that you can indulge in those fantasies and you can present the reader with that central question. What do you think about the troll, and was he asking for it? And actually, in killing him, have you stopped it happening to another teenage girl? And what do you think about the father? Can you understand why a father would have done that?
Well, there you are. I mean, that is 4 minutes.